All right, what up, YouTube? This is No Cap, No Filter. I'm your host, Marley G, back at y'all another episode of Run It With You. And today we got to run it about this whole Brittany Renner video that's been circulating around the net, man. It's been going viral. A lot of people been having the input on the video. And it's basically just a toxic situation between a child's mother and father that's trying the best to co-parent, but it's just not working out. They still bumping heads. The child is fairly still young though. Like a lot of people, this is the reason why a lot of men are choosing not to mess with, you know, single mothers. And this is the reason why a lot of a lot of women are trying not to mess with single fathers. All fathers that have multiple kids because they just don't want to deal with the drama. They just don't want to be in the middle of this toxic situation or tying himself to a toxic situation. Hence why Kevin Gates no longer married to Brittany Renner or together with Brittany Renner. Um Zebra never lose their stripes, man. It was only a matter of time. A lot of people felt like she was gonna keep up the whole Muslim act until she was gonna go back to her old ways because I, I was rooting for her because at the end of the day, I might not agree with a lot of different religions, but at the end of the day, religions bring structure and it brings positivity and growth uh to a lot of people who can use it. And I thought Brittany Winter was one of the people who I thought could actually benefiting from, having a religion to, you know, work on herself towards. But I think, and a lot of other people think she was doing it all for a man. And I don't believe you should be doing it for a man. I think if you like a man, you could go ahead on and take heed to a lot of his beliefs and a lot of his ideologies, but don't do it just to get with a man. You feel what I'm saying? Um, Shoot, but the the worst part of this is the child. The child is growing up into a very toxic situation. I think Brittany Renner had the idea of just trying to use this video and have a lot of people on her side, but I think a lot of people are just going against her and it kind of backfired. But without further ado, let's go ahead on and get into the video and we'll, you know, react along the way. Mm.
Okay, hold on, pause. This is what we're not doing. So every time that he does this, I'm gonna record this because that's not okay. I'm just letting you know. No, the thing is, this is the third time he's done it. This is the third time he's done it. He doesn't want to go with you. So actually show up. Actually show up and do something then with him. Because he does this every time. No, it's not. No, it's not. It ain't because.
All right. First of all, I do feel where she's coming from when it's been a pattern of the baby crying when it goes to the other parent's care. I actually have a son, and my son was doing that every time it was time for him to go back to his mom's house. He would always just burst out and cry. I'm talking about flip out and be crying. So I'm like, man, something must be going on at her house to where he got to be showing this type of behavior, just crying. And lo and behold, I think he just ain't like it over there. I think, the environment where his little brothers was just running amok, being bad. Uh, his mom yelling and screaming at his brothers all day because they being bad. It was just a different environment than when he was around me or my mom or whatever the case may be. But so I kind of understand where she's coming from in that aspect, but at the same time, I don't think that gives the it, it's almost like she was provoking him to react and trying to get him on camera for a reaction. That's what I think. I don't think he should react the way he did, by walking off, saying certain things. And I don't think she should have recorded him in the first place, trying to get a reaction, trying to provoke him in any type of way. Like that's just cold blooded in my opinion, because that's nothing but just adding gas on the fire. Let's go ahead on and continue.
Like baby soon. You give him his bag and stuff.
That's terrible. 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, no, it's not that at all. No, it's not. No, yeah, I will. But I'm telling you right now, every single time you come here and he's quiet, we're gonna record that. And it's up with me. Just know that it's up.
What'd you say?
I'd love to.
What'd you say?
I didn't stutter.
I didn't hear you say it again.
Suck my dick.
If you had one, maybe I would.
You're not a bitch.
Pussy ass
Hey, you
bitch.
wish I would,
Pussy
bitch.
ass. What the fuck you looking
Oh,
at?
that's on my way. Bitch.
Get your bitch ass out my driveway, ho.
You don't pay for shit.
Fuck you.
Now, see right there, that's what I was talking about. Where I don't think he should have reacted the way he reacted. Like all this is very just so childish. Mind you, she got with him when he was like 19, I believe, and she was like 26. So she was much older than him, and she was going on the net just telling a lot of people how athletes are just dumb. They're the easiest suckers to get. So you kind of like made your own bed dealing with this type of toxic environment. You slept with a man just in hopes to have a meal ticket for a baby for the next 18 years. And now you got to deal with the consequences of not getting to know someone, having a child with them after marriage, things of that nature. Bringing a baby into this world out of wedlock, I just think is wrong in itself. Then bringing a baby into this world with somebody you barely even know, or a situation that was just built on a foundation of lust, is a bad thing. Now, if you with somebody for a while and then y'all go ahead on and have a kid, but y'all didn't get married, but y'all really know each other and y'all have a good bond with each other, then okay, that's a little bit more understanding. But the way she went about this, like it's just gonna cause a lot of chaos and a lot of different situations. The way he's reacting, saying, suck his, you know what I'm saying? Like he should have been more player about the situation. The mom should have never affared. And I mean, the mom should have never interfered. She should have just kept recording and just been quiet. Shouldn't have been recording anyway. Then walking out to the car, like you walking all the way out to the car. Like if you gonna record, just record the initial reaction at the door. You ain't got to do all this walking behind somebody, trying to provoke them, trying to get a reaction out of them. But I just see a lack of maturity on all parties. Him saying racial stuff, him saying sexual derogatory stuff. Her responding back like that, that's definitely not Muslim saying, oh, it's up. That's just basically going tit for tat. That's basically going tit for tat, fighting fire with fire. You never want to do that. You always got to be the bigger person. Everybody want to be grown until it's time to communicate, till it's time to be the bigger person, till it's time to apologize. Everybody want to be the grown until it's time to take accountability. That's how I feel in that situation. Then he got his girl with him in the passenger seat. She got to be tied to this. Like, who wants to deal with somebody who got this going on in their life and got to deal with that? You're going to have to deal with that as long as you're with them until the situation get positive, until y'all have a good co-parenting system y'all got. But me personally, in these type of situations, when you're doing pickups and drop-offs, you always got to have a middle person, somebody that's neutral, maybe a babysitter, a certain family member that both parties can trust, and do the exchange like that with the baby. Because as long as the mother and the father is in the picture, it's always going to be a nasty look. It's always going to be a nasty word being thrown out. It's always going to be somebody trying to trigger somebody. It's always going to be that until both people just move on. Let's go ahead on and proceed.
You don't pay for shit either. $170,000 to your hoe, but $11,000 in your son's bank account. $11,000 in your son's bank account, but $170 to that
You don't
bank.
got shit in your
Get out
bank
the car.
account.
Get out the car. Get out the car. Come on.
Now, see how his girl was in a situation saying, "Yeah, shut up if I get out the car and all that." That could lead to somebody getting hurt. That could lead to somebody getting arrested. Tensions is balled up. Emotions is running high. Like you, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I have a past too, and I've been in these people's shoes. Well, you young, you acting off emotions. You saying anything that could come out your mouth that could hurt somebody, and it's not worth it, man. All it's gonna do is lead you down a path of destruction. It's gonna lead you down a path of guilt because you're gonna make some mistakes along the way, and you ain't gonna learn until you bump your head. All this is gonna do is lead to somebody getting in jail. All it's gonna do is lead to somebody coming out their pocket. Now, she did say you had this money to do such and such with your girl, but you got $11,000 in your child's bank account. I'm pretty sure when that child is with him, that child ain't even touching that bank account. Like it's just coming straight from his pocket. So I'm pretty sure the child is well taken care of. And $11,000 just ain't no little bit of chump change. That's enough to take care of a little child. It's enough to put clothes on his back. It's enough to put um him having entertainment. It's enough to have him in school. Like that is enough. On top of whatever the mother's bringing to the table, or the grandmother at that. But we all know this was a big money grab from the beginning. It was she seen him, and it was just a meal ticket. You know, she just had the stars in her eyes and the money signs on her eyes, and that was basically a help to claim the fame. But yeah, man, just it seemed like Kevin Gates knew what he was doing when he got up out this relationship, bro. Because imagine having to deal with this. Because his girl having to deal with this. Now imagine Kevin Gates having to deal with that. And this is why a lot of people aren't trying to mess with people that have a child. And if you do have a child, a lot of people rule is 5 and up. Usually when a kid turns 5, 6, some even 7, 7 years go by, that's enough time for the mother and father to finally, hash things out and just come to a truce. And, you know, after a while, it just get tiring. And if people just can't hash things out after 7 years, that just shows a very lack of maturity. And once again, you got to have a middle person. You got to have somebody that's, of convenience to both people to help with these drop-offs and help with these pickups. Even if you got to pay them, because it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it that somebody get hurt and somebody got to go to jail, or somebody got to be paying some hospital bills and things of that nature. Trust me, I didn't mean to throw it all. And then when you a basketball player or athlete, you got to watch out for these type of women. First of all, with great responsibility, with great, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, great power comes great responsibility, if that's the word I'm looking for. But if you a person in a certain position, you gotta be, even more alert and have discernment what type of women you dealing with. This girl had a whole class that Deion Sanders brought her out to, her teaching men to watch out for these girls. This is the same girl that was on a Danza project with Charleston White, throwing glass and throwing drinks on people. Like, plenty outbursts. Plenty just showcasing of bad behavior. And if she's showcasing that at this age right now, just imagine how she was when she first met PJ. But shame on him for not having that discernment. But she's red, she's pretty, she's the IG model. She is the type that a lot of men look for nowadays. But you just got to get better when it comes to picking who you lay down with. Especially when you going raw and you rolling the dice, you taking the gamble, and that gamble will cost you 18 years. Really even more than that, because you still have to deal with the person after 18 years child support some way, somehow. But yeah, man, my advice to all the young women out there, all the young men out there, y'all gotta be more careful about who you lay down with and have a child with. Gotta be more careful, man. Especially if you have a lot of stuff going for yourself. You're a lick. Woman too. A lot of women, if you successful, don't think a man just out here gonna just be looking at you for your looks and not be looking at your pockets. You a lick too. You a target too. You definitely don't want nothing like this happening. Trust me. But my advice when you're doing pickups and when you're doing drop offs with kids, have a person that's a friend of the family that both of y'all can trust, and let them uh do the pickup and drop off. Even if they could even if they can't just do it on their own, and you be with them, just let them do the part where they go they go to the house and get the kid from the house door, and you just stay in the car. Even if you got to get to that point. But that's my take on the situation. I want to know what y'all think down in the comment section below. If y'all have any advice, what do y'all think about Brittany Renner becoming a Muslim and then going back to her toxic ways? And a lot of people mad at her for that. A lot of people feel like you shouldn't be playing with religion like that. If you're gonna get into something, you need to go ahead on and stick with it and be 10 toes down with it. Or else don't get into it at all. Because now you just wasting a lot of people's time playing with a lot of people's religion, and you have this influence over a lot of people. And she probably made a lot of girls get into that, and now they probably confused because she's not into it no more. So I want to know what y'all think down below in the comment section. And if y'all have any other ideas or suggestions that y'all want me to react to or videos, go ahead on the email down below and I'll react to it. And also, if you like the channel, go ahead on and like, subscribe, hit the hype button, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, even share to a friend. I'm out.